And when you're talking about first images of Rachel Zegler's Snow White dropping, then you know you have reached a bit of a low here, and then it could go a bit lower again before we get to the end of the show. This could be really short. The reason I really wanted to speak about this was just the backlash that Rachel has been getting from the usual alt-right fucking basement dwelling weirdos, the little incel motherfuckers that sit there bitching at the world. The world owes them something. Here's a tip for you dickheads. The world owes you nothing. Anything you get out of the world you earn. You go out there and you get it. Sitting in your mama's basement, choking the chicken. You're entitled to nothing, you're owed nothing. And I really wish they'd stop pushing their hatred out into the actual universe. And that's really why I wanted to discuss this, because first and foremost, it's an absolute nonsense, man. The hatred that Rachel's been getting. She's a young, vivacious, up-and-coming actress who's been given the chance of a lifetime to play one of the iconic Disney sort of princesses. Yeah, princess, I don't know if she is a princess, but you know what I mean. Technically, she becomes a kind of princess figure at the end, doesn't she? One of the iconic Disney female characters, Snow White. And you're not going to knock that back when you're at that stage in your career. I do think she's young anyway. You're just not going to knock back that opportunity ever, really. So I don't quite get the blowback, the backdraft that she's getting from certain quarters on the internet. Well, I do, because she's a woman and they just hate women, these little fucking weirdos. And then also you've got the fact that she is from, I think presumably, I don't want to assume what her background is, so maybe I'll just search it up just now, but she's not Caucasian, is she? And this was the big problem for a lot of people. She is, I don't think you're going to get anything on her sort of ethnicity and where she, I mean, I don't think we're going to get anything here, and it doesn't really matter. Point being, she's not white enough for these fucking weirdos. And there was a lot of blowback against her and against Disney for casting her as Snow White. And I have to say, looking at that, what is the issue here? Where is the issue here? Why are they blowing back against Rachel Zegler? Why is this an issue that she's been cast? I'm just completely confounded by the whole thing. I'm baffled by it. And I guess it's just, again, this sort of thing that I've been speaking about for the last fuck knows how many years now. The sheer ignorance and the sheer hatred that is still firmly present within the human race as a whole. It's saddening. It's infuriating that we've not got over this nonsense, the separation, what separates us, and focusing more on what actually brings us all together, which is life, this experience we're going on, consciousness and whatnot, and celebrating that and trying to be the best we can possibly be. Why do we always have to put barriers up and attack other human beings who are just out there trying to do the best they can possibly do? It's really tragic, it's really pathetic, and as a Beatles fan, they were singing about this 50, 60 years ago, and we're still living this fucking nonsense just now. So just thought I'd touch upon this and talk about it. I'm quite excited for this. I'm looking forward to it. I've liked all of the Disney live action remakes to date. Really enjoyed Aladdin, went and seen it day one in the theatres. Went and seen Lion King day one in the theatres. Went and seen Beauty and the Beast in the theatres. Seen Dumbo in the theatres. I've really enjoyed all of the live action remakes. I like what they're doing with it. It's a new lick of paint. It's freshening up for a new demographic, a new generation who are thankfully more receptive to liberal thoughts and multiculturalism and diversity, and they're not as close-minded and backward and ignorant and racist, hopefully. Sadly, there is still elements, as I've just touched upon. But for the main, I do feel positive about humanity, that we are getting better and that the barriers are coming down bit by bit. And I think Disney are quite right to espouse this, if you like. Is that the right word? I've said it now. In their films. And that should be fucking celebrated. And if you're not happy about it, well, you can go back and watch the animated films, or you can go back and watch other versions of the films which still exist. This is not replacing them. This is an addition to the films that are already out there and consumable. So yeah, look, fair play to Rachel. I think she looks fucking stunning there. Slight reservations about the sort of dwarfish characters, I'm not going to lie. Slight reservations about the size of the heads, but look, it is what it is. I think it looks fucking cool. and I'm all for it, man. Fair play to Rachel. It's coming out in 2025, incidentally. It's been delayed, which is again another topic I've touched upon recently. The saga, or whatever they're calling them, actor strikes, delaying everything. And how that could be a good thing and a bad thing for filmmakers and film fans alike. I did say that was going to be a short one. I may actually just quickly dive into something here, because it kind of, again, it brings down the argument of these dickwads, as they like to say over in the United States, I do believe, about Snow White having to be pearly white. She has to be like Casper the Ghost, the friendly ghost. She has to be whiter than white. Fucking A4 paper white. Well, she doesn't, because look at that there, man. Look at the cartoon. I think she looks remarkably like Rachel Zegler. Don't you? Maybe that one's a little bit fucking Casper the Ghost. But I think there's been iterations of a character that resemble someone of Rachel Zegler's sort of ethnicity or sort of, looks. I think there's enough similarities there that Disney are perfectly within their fucking rights to cast this incredible young actress.